How do you know the pair of shears you just had sharpened are sharpened correctly? We recently were at a hair show and a gentleman had his shears sharpened by our company, by my son-in-law Jay. He gave us a great review and said he had someone been sharpening shears he thought was doing a great job, but after he had them sharpened by Jay at our hair show, he realized what he'd been missing out on. I'm Bonnie Megowan. My company's Bonika Shears, and we have this certification called the International Scissor Sharpeners Association. We look at some shears that have been sharpened by sharpeners that could come from anywhere in the world, and we look and see whether they meet what I consider minimum standards for sharpening. So I've got 2 sets, and we're going to take a look at them today, and you're going to see what constitutes good sharpening. We may see anything because I haven't even looked at these. We're going to look at them together. With this certification comes a written test, and both of the people wrote me nice little notes about their sharpening, and this one I do want to share with you, number 4. I'm going to cover his name up. It says, "Thank you for all your help and training that you're so kindly given. You are definitely a teacher at heart. Anyone who knows you can tell you care about your students and want the best for your students. I am sending shears for your certification, and I hope I make you proud." This person got all the answers correct. The other person wrote me a long letter, and I'm only going to read it and review it if I'm seeing some problems with the shears, because that's sort of the way I do when it's a really, really long typed letter of all the things he saw. And he actually missed one question, and it's the newest question, so it's the one people typically will miss. And another one he missed, but he said in his long letter he thought he missed. And it might be just a different interpretation. Now, when I was in college, I learned that I needed to give the teacher the answer that I knew they were looking for. If I knew the 2 answers, I might give them, I'm giving you this answer, but this is the other alternative answer, and this is what I think. That was really true in biology because of some of the disagreements I had about evolution. But let's see, the 2 that he was iffy on was what was the optimum angle for shears, and I was looking at 45 because 45 is like the perfect angle between blunt and sharp, and you can still slide cut with 45, but it holds its edge. That doesn't mean all shears should be at 45, but that seems to be the optimum. That seems to be the best angle if you don't know what angle to put on a pair of decent beauty hair cutting shears. And the other one is the one most people are missing. If the convex edge shears don't cut the tissue cleanly, which would not likely to be the reason, and the edge is rounded off and not sharp, burrs left, nicks are left, blades are out of alignment. The correct answer is the edge is rounded off and not sharp. You can cut cleanly through a wet tissue with some really blunt blades, because the tissue, the purpose of it is not whether it's sharp enough to get through the tissue, because it's so fine it's no problem. The purpose of cutting wet tissue is that it tears so easy that there's the least little bit of something left behind that's not a clean, consistent edge, it'll tear the tissue. So let's take a look at them. So this is 212 and 204. Nice clean edge, left the serration alone, which is what I was expecting them to do, wanted them to do. These are not, in the one letter he said these were cheap Amazon shears or something other. These are actually, I mean, they may not look real expensive, but they're pretty well made for what they are. It's an American company that's no longer in existence, but their shears are pretty decent. Okay, the serrations are still there, and yeah, both of these edges and angles look fine. So I would expect both of them to cut equally well. So let me try it on some hair and see if it pushes. So I'm spreading out the hair, and I'm pulling my thumb out. pretty crisp cut. So these, it's really important for them not to push these beveled edges. I'm going to say they're equally cut well. I'm double checking those tips. Yeah, so those both pass on that. Let's see how they cut dry tissue and then wet tissue. Thumb out. Nice crisp. Nice crisp. And now I'm going to wet it. And this is telling me if I've got a consistent angle. No pull at the tip. That looked good. So both the beveled edges passed equally well. What I'm looking for on these is if you know not to overdo it. I get some people, I'll send these shears to them and they'll try to do a rod line and try to do some crazy things that these shears were not intended to do. So both of these pass. Now comes the convex edge. Now these are finished in the USA. They come with a micro bevel on them. These shears we get in specifically for training and for this certification. So the idea is that you're going to sharpen them, get all the nicks and burrs out of them that I put in there, and reconvex them. So first I'm going to look to see if they look like they are truly reconvexed. And they do. They look pretty nice. I would say if I had to, that the 212 actually looks better than the 204, but I would say they both pass as far as looks. So let's see how they cut. Very subjective. I'm feeling the edge, making sure there is an edge on there, because I told you they'll cut the wet tissue even if they're rounded off. Let's get a little bit of hair here. And I'm just going to see if they'll slide through the hair. Little bit of a rip. You see how it tore it out of the base? I'm going to say they're both fairly sharp. Now, tissue test. I'm not doing anything to adjust the screw. I'm leaving the screw alone. And I'm going to pull my thumb out and dry. It cuts good. That one cuts good. Let's see if it cuts wet. We may have two of them passing here. Wet. Thumb is out. Slow catches things, fast doesn't catch. Do you see that? First time it didn't cut, second time it did. Who knows why? Let's try this one. They both cut. This one, let me test it again, because one time it didn't cut and the other two times it did. Okay, I'm going to say they both pass. If anything, just feeling the smoothness. Feel equally smooth, and I'm going to double check the tips because I get them in sometimes where the tips don't come together. And the tips are good, they're not scratchy. These are both adjusted right. Both of these sharpeners are now certified ISSA sharpeners. Good job, did well, and congratulations. If you want to see whether your sharpening meets the bar that I set for it, There's some links here below where you can go to our website and order the certification shears. I'll be sending these back to them if they want them back. They just have to pay the shipping back. And congratulations again. And now they can order their cool ISSA t-shirts. They're going to get an ID card and a certificate, and we have some other ISSA spiff things they can wear to show their certification. And congratulations. I got a lot of other ISSA certification videos. You may want to watch them. Not everybody passes. And if you're planning on doing this, it would help you to watch some of the other certifications, especially the video I'm going to link here at the end that shows me actually doing the certification, so you can watch and see exactly how I do it. So